All right. Good evening, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Dr. Narine Dat Show. For those of you who have been watching us and following us will know that this is a safe space for positive energy only. There are a few different ways to listen to us. You can listen to us on a regular dial, that's 102.7 CKMS FM. You can listen to us on Rogers Digital Cable for those of you who have the Rogers Digital Box on channel 946. And of course, we're also live streaming our show here as well too. So please take this opportunity to share our page. This show is very different than what we have done in the past. We take our time and we make good selection when it comes to our guests. And tonight we have James Bond joining us. So James Bond, welcome to the show. How are you doing tonight, sir?
I'm good, Doctor. All right. I'm great. Great. How are
Awesome,
you doing?
awesome. I'm doing good, man. The weather is getting great here and all of that. We still have nice sunshine. We're doing good. It's awesome.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
All
Good to
right.
hear.
Good stuff. I want you to know off the bat here that I appreciate you taking time off your busy schedule to join us, which is awesome. I want to assure the audience that it will be a really good interview here. So take the opportunity to stay with us. So James, we are going to get right into things to be mindful of your time. Um, and so before we get into any specific questions and whatnot, I want to give you the opportunity to take a minute or so um, and kind of introduce yourself to us. Tell us a little bit about your background, where you're born, maybe the school you attended and so forth. And then, of course, I have some questions for you in terms of the professional roles that you've had over the years. So take it away.
All right, thanks again for having me. For sharing me with your audience. I must say to the good people of Canada, hello. To everyone listening here, home, and wherever the diaspora, hello. My name is Bond, James Bond. Um, I was born in Region 4. That's Georgia Hospital. And then I lived for a few years in Region 3 at Bagotville. And after that, my family, my mom is a nurse, my dad is a minister of religion. So they moved to Region 1. My mom became stationed in Region 1 as a health visitor there.
Mhm.
And my dad, he was the missionary pastor responsible for Region 1. So I spent my youth in Region 1. Just came from Babu John, where we celebrated the life and legacy of Dr. Chetty Jagan. And it was great seeing my friends from Region 1 there as well. So big shout out to Mr. Lambert and the others there who were at the meeting today, the celebration today. So I went to school, my formative years in Region 1. I attended St. Joseph's High School, President's College,
Mhm.
University, Hugh Wooding Law School. I've been an attorney for 20 odd years, 23 years or thereabouts. I'm retired now, by the way. I retired in 2020. I believe in retiring young. I don't believe we should retire very old. We should retire when we have the energy still,
Mhm.
to take on new challenges. So
Mhm.
I've been retired for about 4 years, 5 years. And the new challenge I've taken up is in entrepreneurship, business. At present, I'm a businessman. I tried my hand at my cigar long. It became a years. It's still certain aspects. I don't like to divulge too much what I do
Yeah.
because in Guyana, in certain quarters, people are just waiting to hear what you do to start the negativity. And I'm glad you're about positive energy because I'm about positive energy and stuff. I'm into agriculture. I'm into construction. I'm into a
Mhm.
number of things,
Yeah.
and so that's where most of my energies are at present. Um, on the professional side, also, besides being an attorney, I've been a consummate politician. I served as a member of parliament with APNU from 2012 to 2015. I've been a central executive member of the PNCR. I've been member of the APNU Leadership Council. I've held many portfolios in my political life. I chaired the adoption board. I was a member of the National Sports Commission. There's a number of things I would have done. I always said I think I've lived a life. I've
Mm.
lived a life, and there's still more to go. There's still more to contribute to Guyana, and that's what I'm about right now. Just looking for other things to do to contribute to developing and growing Guyana.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that, by the way. I mean, I like your energy in terms of wanting to do more. I like the fact that you mentioned, you know what, look, I'm not gonna wait until I get really old to retire, right? You retire when, young so that you can use your energy to do things that are of importance to you, right? And you're always in the goal. And there's a reason why I invited you to be part of the show. I mean, I see, you are doing a lot of work when it comes to the young folks, mentoring and encouraging and all of that, which is a beautiful thing because at the end of the day, we really have to make sure that the young people are getting, the resources and tools and all of that, right? So that they can shape their own life, right? But before I talk about that, tell me, the main reason why you've got into law. I think that's a beautiful thing, and I think you've had a good career when it comes to that. Tell me, what was that, motivating factor for you to make that decision? Let me know if you can still hear me or not. So by the looks of it, we lost our guest here, but he's gonna come back. Not to worry. We lost him earlier as well too. He obviously he's in Guyana, and the spot he's at right now, the internet is a little bit weak. But we're gonna have him back on. So just hang in there really, really tight. For those of you who have just tuned in, you're watching, listening to Dr. Narine Dat Show, and obviously this is a safe space for positive energy only, nothing more than that. We have invited James Bond, to be part of the show tonight, just to have some insight as to, of some of the things that he has done in his personal life and professional life to lead some sort of success for himself and things of that sort. And we have obviously one or two specific questions for him as we speak right now. We lost him. We lost him due to the internet connection, but we are hopeful that he's going to join us very, very shortly. So just hang in there. Do take the opportunity to share a page. For those of you who don't know James Bond, he is a former attorney at law, and it looks like we are going to have him back right here. So you can hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now,
Awesome.
but like I said, there's certain parts we're having some bad spots
No, that's all
with
right.
the
That's all right. That's all right.
with the internet.
Not to worry. I was
So
talking to
the question, I get the question.
No worries. Yeah, I was talking to my audience. So our guest is back on here. So what I was asking you, what motivated you to get into law? I think that's a beautiful thing. And so if you want to share, with our audience, listeners, viewers, as to
Yeah,
what was the motivating factor, would be awesome.
yeah. So after high school, I love history.
Mhm.
Is my passion.
Mhm.
I got a distinction in history at the CXC, so I wanted to be a historian. You know,
Mhm.
and my mom was like, James, what are you going to do to history? Teach? Well, I did. I did not want to teach one bit because I wasn't always the best student.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to get my students to give me the kind of trouble I gave some of my teachers.
Mhm.
So she says, James, go do law. And that was the best decision. And the thing is how we grew up back in those days. We listened to our parents.
Yeah,
There's no
yeah, yeah.
question about it.
That's right. Yeah.
So I got into law. I did the A levels, and then I went to UG, and then I got a government of Guyana scholarship to do law. Um, so that's it. Just my mom telling me go do law.
Yeah.
I didn't have the faith decided to be a lawyer, but as I got into it, I was always fond of reading and
Mhm.
public speaking.
Mhm.
My dad is a pastor, so we had to get up and read the Bible, the scriptures for him, and I had to do that. That was my job.
Mhm.
to read the scriptures for him, and so he had to read in front of the whole church. So I always had that kind of confidence in public speaking, and so law became a passion of mine. Um, Thanks to also to Chancellor Bishop, who's now deceased. He also gave me that also inspired me to stick with the law, to love the law. Um, he also said the law is a jealous mistress. That was his favorite code.
Oh yeah.
So that's why I got in. That's why I got into law.
And was it difficult for you at all?
I didn't hear you.
Was it difficult for you to kind of make it through, like to finish the law
No,
degree
there
and
was
whatnot?
one. No, there was one time where the times where you're feeling overwhelmed, and there was a time I think in third year UG when when
Yeah. So wherever you are right now, the internet is a little bit weak there. We are not able to hear you. I just want you to know that. So if you are hearing me, you will have to repeat what you just said there.
I was kind of feeling a bit overwhelmed. And
Okay.
I was like, Professor, because we had this kind of
Mhm.
rapport. This thing is going and going and
No, no,
going.
that's okay. No, that's okay. I can hear you nice and clear. Not to worry. I know you're back on now. So go ahead.
Yeah, what happened is that we were just approaching the Burmese Bridge. I'd probably give you guys a view. I don't know if you could.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Yeah. If you're able to do it on your end, sure.
Yeah, so this is it. We just crossing the Burmese Bridge. The president announced that from August 1st, 2025, traveling across this bridge is going to be free. And then have a four-lane
Mhm.
bridge here. So it's no longer going to be two lanes. Very scenic, very picturesque. Very
That's awesome. Yes, I'm glad you took the opportunity to give us that view there. That's pretty cool. So I just want to remind my audience for those of you who have just tuned in, we are joined by James Bond. Many of you obviously know him, and he's taken the opportunity to join us where we are basically sharing some positive energy here. So, James Bond, I know that you have busy schedule and you have to kind of go, but I want to ask this one question, and I'm only asking you because it is public information. You have openly endorsed the president for a second term. Tell us about that. I'm not sure if you were able to hear me or not. You let me know when you can hear me. I know our guest is having some difficulties there, but he's gonna be okay. So just hang in there. So we just have to give him a couple of seconds until
okay.
he's
So
in.
the
Yeah, I can hear you now. Go ahead.
President I think is doing a fantastic job. Stations. When I see Matali's done a fantastic. So we crossed the bridge. Hopefully that's that.
No.
We crossed.
I like the way you said it. We crossed the bridge. Yeah, so I wasn't able to
We
hear
crossed the
everything.
bridge.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So
let me start over. Let me start
yeah,
over.
start over. Yeah, so hold on. So I was asking our guest to share with us as to why he made that public announcement and that decision to endorse the current president for a second term. So take it away, James.
Yeah, I think President Ali is doing a fantastic job. He has exceeded my expectations when he first got into office in 2020. I, like many others, were skeptical. We had our doubts and reservations as to whether or not he could handle things on the international front. I think that was the primary concern because domestic politics gets kind of rudimentary, kind of gets mundane and normal.
Yeah.
We've seen the challenges, we know what's happening in Guyana, so those variations or fluctuations we could predict. But when it comes to the international scene, um, you can't predict that as easily as you could on the domestic front. President Ali has been able to maneuver in such a way that he become an international leader. He's actually a leader in CARICOM. He's a leader in UN. He's a leader in agriculture. He's a leader in renewable energy. We're leading in oil and gas. We're leading in so many things. As we like to say, we have the fastest growing economy in the world. So how he's been able to handle himself in terms of climate change, security, oil and gas, even the questions of reparations, you see how he's handled himself. And in CARICOM, in terms of resuscitating agriculture, he's not resuscitating agriculture in terms of reducing the food import bill, in terms of his vision 2025, and resuscitating economies, the agricultural sectors in countries like St. Lucia and Trinidad and Tobago. He's done a fantastic job. So seeing all of that, and of course seeing his passion for young people and young people in agriculture, his president's initiative in terms of uh, getting youth in agriculture. Those are the factors that I'm saying we can't afford to have a break in terms of the trajectory we're going on. When you look at the aggressiveness in terms of the housing sector, the aggressiveness of the construction sector, the aggressiveness of bringing new businesses on stream, young entrepreneurs, new businesses. They just ready to start there at Babu John. Is that we had 43 contractors servicing Region 6 in the past. All right, in 2019. Today it's 1,032, 1,132. So imagine increasing that by 25 times over. 25 times over. And that has been a testament of his leadership. And this has been something that's been done throughout the length and breadth of Guyana. Young people, new businesses, new areas, new sectors, creating wealth across the divide um, without any discrimination or victimization. I live in Guyana. I could tell you we are having, and you have to see it. You gotta see it. You gotta taste and see. If you're on the outside and listening to these propaganda machines, you won't see it. You would never know. But if you get on the ground and try to get involved, you will be successful. So I've seen it all. I was watching him. I went to the Agriculture Expo. I think that was in 2023. And there, when I saw what was going on there, I said like, wow, I gotta be a part of this. And a date like today, I am actually a part of it. So I've seen it, and I've said we can't as a country afford to not give President Ali a second term to continue his vision. We could ill afford it. And I endorsed him publicly. Um, my family and friends, we support him. We support what he's doing. And it's very, very good for Guyana at this stage. His style of leadership, where he's embracing everyone in respect of a religion, in respect of a race, in respect of political persuasion. He's embracing everyone. And I think that bodes well for our country to have a leader at this juncture. So that's why I supported him. That's why I continue to support him, um, and support the PPC as well. It's a vision, it's a vision that the PPC gives direction. They give support to people. Um, Dr. Narayan, when you come to Guyana, you will be amazed to see the kind of development that's happening, not just in Guyana, not just in Georgetown.
Mhm.
I was in Region 1 the other day, and there are roads, concrete roads we can drive on. There's schools, there's
Mhm.
hospitals. This is in Region 1, and this is going on through the length and breadth of Guyana. The rate we're developing, the pace we're developing, um, it's amazing to see what's happening. Um, but again, if you don't come and see it for yourself, you won't
Yeah,
believe
yeah,
it.
yeah. Well, thank you so much for that updates there. And I mean, I only ask you because you have openly endorsed the president. As I understand it, by the way, you have known, and keep in mind you don't have any obligation to share anything here or answer to all of the question. I'm only asking a question here. As I understand it, you've known the president for a long time. You've kind of had some sort of early years friendship and so forth. Is that correct?
Well, I could tell you that I was president of Campton Football Club um, in 2010, 2011, when President Ali was Minister of Housing.
Mhm.
And he was the only person that sponsored the club in me getting foreign players, flying them in.
Mhm.
But we've always kept that mutual respect
Mhm.
between us. Uh, during the elections, I crossed the line during the campaign, and that's why I would never get again a situation whereby I'm attacking any politician or
Mhm.
attacking anybody. Because uh, uh, during the 2020 elections, of course, we were the cut and trust politics. But you know what? Even during the 2020 elections, President says, "James, no matter what you have is have a place."
Yeah, so we are having a little bit of a difficulty to hear you right now, but hopefully in a couple of seconds that's going to straighten out.
You know, you'll always be my friend. And
I can hear you
during
good
his
now. Awesome.
presidency, he's been consistent.
Yeah.
On my former party, they weren't inviting me. The president was inviting me to State House when he had his emancipation celebrations. Whenever he had guests, he would send an invitation to me. Um,
So, my dear fellow listeners and viewers, for those of you who are watching and listening us, you are listening and watching the Dr. Narine Dat Show. There are a few ways to listen to us. You can listen to us on a regular dial. That's the radio 102.7 CKMS FM. You can listen to us on Rogers Digital Cable for those of you who have the Rogers Digital Box on channel 946. And of course, we're also live streaming our show as well too. So please take the opportunity to share it. We are joined by James Bond. And as you were able to hear, hopefully most of it, he gave us some updates as to what's happening in Guyana, as to why he has openly endorsed, the president and so forth. It looks like we have him back on here, which is awesome. I was talking to the audience, not to worry. I'm glad, I'm glad
I
you're
hate,
making it work.
I
That's
hate to put
awesome.
I hate to put you through this, man.
No, man, we will do this again another time. But I'm glad that you
Yeah,
made the
when I'm
effort to
home,
do this.
when I'm
Definitely,
home, when
yeah,
I'm home with my Enet Wi-Fi, we'll do this
definitely.
again.
We will do this again, and I think James is one. Honestly, we do have a few guests where we have them on an ongoing basis, and James is one of the fellas that I would love to have on an ongoing basis every so often to give us some really good updates as to what's happening. You brought up a good point, James. So this has nothing to do with politics. You brought up a good point. If we are not there to see, right?
Yeah,
Then we would know, right? Because we we see differently sometimes, as you know, on social media, right? So thank you
yeah,
for being yourself. I really respect you for that. That I can tell you. Just being yourself, and that's a powerful thing. Not easy to do. But it looks like you have what it takes
yeah,
to handle pressure, buddy, which is awesome.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
love
It's no
it.
pressure, doc.
Okay.
It's no pressure, Doctor Narine. It's no pressure.
Good, good. That's
Absolute no
awesome.
pressure, you know. But only thing is, I'm here with my business partner. I just came to see him here. I
Okay,
gotta
so
stop in and check him.
okay.
But you schedule me anytime, any
Yes.
Sunday, and I'll make sure I'm home with the Wi-Fi and everything. But
Yeah. Yeah. So what we'll do, that's what we're gonna do. I want you to know I appreciate you stopping by here. That's not a problem. We will reschedule you back where, when you're gonna be home so we can sit and
yeah,
have a proper chat in details and no
yeah.
internet interruption and so forth. So thank you so much, James, and we are gonna I'll connect with you. So not to worry about this.
Thank you for the opportunity, man. Thank you
No
very much.
worries.
God
All
bless you. God
right. We'll
bless you.
talk again soon. You have a good one.
You too, sir. Bye
All
bye.
right. Okay, bye-bye. All right. So that was James Bond, folks. We actually asked him to kind of join us, for a bit, just to kind of start a conversation or get a conversation going, so to speak, because we will have him on an ongoing basis to kind of give us some updates, as to what's happening in Guyana and whatnot. And he will be one of the good ones to do that. He has some, other, event and whatnot. He has to be part of. So we respect his time with us. But before I wrap it up here, I want to let you know that there are a few things happening. There's a specific event that's happening here in Toronto. The diaspora event, the Toronto Diaspora Job Fair, to be specific. So the date to keep in mind here is April the 5th, right? April the 5th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. So for those of you who can make it, make sure you make yourself available. And the place to be, for more information rather regarding the Toronto Diaspora Job Fair, you want to call 416-494-6080, or you can also call 416-6095-2679. So I'm going to give you those two numbers again: 416-494-6040. You can also call. There are quite a few different numbers there. I'm not sure if the number that I have here. The folks who send me this flyer, take a look back at that number. Something doesn't seem to be right here. We seem to have an extra number on here, at least for the seems that way. But definitely you want to call 416 494-6040. Those ones for sure. The other ones I'm not too clear. You have to forgive me for this here. And that's the Toronto Diaspora Job Fair. And the date is Saturday, April the 5th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. I will be checking out this event. I think that's pretty cool. And so again, we have had James Bond earlier, and the purpose was to kind of get to know him a little bit more, right? We know that he is a former attorney at law. Obviously, he was part of the APNU in terms of representing them as a member of parliament. He's he's retired when it comes to all of that, and he's now a businessman. But he's only sharing what needs to be shared, so to speak, right? So do know that we are going to have him on an ongoing basis, just to kind of have direct information and updated information and things of that sort. But just a reminder, on our show, it's very diverse in a sense that we do have a variety of different people. We will have artists as well too. We talk about not only social issues, but we talk about like mental health as well too. All of these types of things. If you know of anyone who will be a good fit to be part of our show, send them our way. We'll be happy to kind of have them on. The only difference in comparison with what we used to do before is that this is a safe space of positive energy only, nothing more than that. And so I will kind of wrap it up now because as much as we would have liked to kind of carry on and have James, James Bond, that is, to join us for a longer time, we took the opportunity based on what was um, at hand, right? So he was only available for that period of time, but we're going to have him back. So something you want to keep an eye on for. So again, I would like to thank you. Thank you for taking a sneak peek. We are on Sundays, every Sunday, starting at 6 p.m. Eastern time. All right. So until next time, my name is Dr. Narine Dat Show. I'm wishing you a great today and even a better tomorrow. We'll talk again soon.